Hello and welcome to Alpha Militaria TV. Thanks very much for tuning in once again. My name is Richard Saunders. Now, if you'd like to support the channel, the best and the easiest way, to be honest, is to simply hit the subscribe button. And if you like what you see, to give us a like as well. But if you're feeling generous, you can also buy us a coffee. The details are down below. Now, the rifle we're looking at today is a Crosman rifle. It's an affordable break barrel rifle. It is the Crosman Silver Fox. It's a gas ram, or in Crosman speak, a nitro piston rifle, so no mainspring. And what we're going to do is we're going to start at the back, work our way to the front of the rifle, talk about the key features, zoom in on some of those, we'll talk about cocking and loading the rifle as well, and then we'll end up on the range and see how it shoots. The Crosman Silver Fox is distributed in the UK by Rangerite, and it has a recommended retail price of £189.99 and is sold by gun shops up and down the country. And I'm sure that if you shopped around, you'd find it for a better price than that. Now, the rifle it's a full-size rifle. It's 1,100mm long, has a 417mm barrel, although how much of that is taken up with this shroud, I'm not quite sure. And the overall weight is 3.1 kilos, but that does include this scope and the mounts that come with the rifle. Now, the scope is a Centerpoint 4x32, and it's fairly typical of the scope that comes with budget rifles as a package. Now, it's not the best scope in the world. There's no parallax adjustment to it or anything like that. But if you're going to be shooting in the garden at tin cans, it's more than adequate. What I would say though is, if you intend on shooting at paper targets and at smaller plinking targets in the garden, you'll want to upgrade this scope. And certainly if you intend using this to shoot vermin, then you'll want a different scope on this as well. Now, I don't know what the power output is yet to know whether it is acceptable to use on vermin, but we'll find that out later. Now, the stock is a black plastic or black polymer stock. It's a Sporter design stock and fully ambidextrous. And it's really good quality, actually. It's nice and solid. There's no hollowness to it. There's just the tiniest little bit of flex up here on the fore end. But yeah, it's a really nicely finished stock. There's a moulding seam that goes around it, as you'd expect, but that's finished off really nicely. There's no sharp edges to it. And yeah, it's a really good handle. There's a solid rubber section to the back of the butt here, which gives you good shoulder fit. There's a nice high comb up here that will give you good alignment down the scope for aiming. And you have kind of raised sort of cheek pieces here, left and right as well. There are patches of stippling on the pistol grip and above the trigger here and along the fore end. And as you can see, the fore end sort of tapers in at the end as well. Now, the pistol grip is actually quite steeply raked, and now I've only got sort of medium-sized hands, and it's a little bit of a stretch to reach the trigger unless you sort of work your way up the pistol grip. So, and if you have small hands, then I'd suggest that you might struggle a little bit for grip. It's not a huge issue, and as I say, you can move your grip up and down the pistol grip here to access the trigger, but yeah, it's a little bit longer than usual, I'd say. The trigger is a metal trigger, which is a little bit unusual on a budget rifle, and that's a great thing. It is adjustable. Obviously not the best trigger in the world, but it's quite crisp and it does let off very predictably. There's a manual safety catch inside the trigger guard here. So it's a little blade, and you push it forward to make the rifle live, and then you push it back to lock the rifle up again. Now, as you know, I'm not the biggest fan of safety catches anywhere near the trigger, especially within the trigger guard itself. But lots of manufacturers do it, and they know better than me, I guess. But yeah, not my favourite. Now, the safety catch will come on just by pushing it manually. It doesn't come on when you cock the rifle, but there is an anti-bear trap on it, and we'll show you that later. Now, on top, obviously you have, as the rifle is named, this silver action silver barrel. There are dovetails up here to accept a scope as well. Now, the breech is actually quite nice and solid. It does lock up quite nicely, and we'll show you that later, with no play in it or no movement at all. And yeah, it does lock up pretty good. And then you obviously have this full length, quite stylish shroud on the barrel. and that actually does a pretty good job of hushing down the report. And because this is a gas ram, so it has a contained cylinder of air that is compressed when you break the barrel rather than spring that's compressed, when you pull the trigger, there's very little in the way of mechanical noise from the action as well, which is quite good. It has that quite good sort of thuddy action. And there's no capacity to add a silencer on the end of this shroud. So I think those are the key points. We'll zoom in on a few of those in close-up detail, then we'll show you the cocking action as well. So cocking and loading the Silver Fox is the same as any other break barrel, to be perfectly honest. Now, the safety catch does not come on automatically on this rifle, so the first thing you want to do is to put the safety catch on. Now, I'm a right-hander, but if you're left-handed, it's obviously the other way round. But I find the easiest way to cock a rifle is to tuck the butt into the top of my thigh, hold onto the fore end with my right hand, and then just give the end of the barrel a light tap to break the action. Now, the rifle's not cocked at this point. All you've done is broken the breech. And you can actually put a pellet in at this point if you wish to. Or to cock the rifle, take hold of the end of the barrel and pull it all the way down until it clicks. Now, at this point, you can then put a pellet in the breech here. Now, I always recommend to people that throughout this entire process, their left hand never leaves the end of the barrel, because what you don't want is for the barrel to come flying up while you're fiddling around up here with the breech, and trap a finger or something. That's just going to be painful and upsetting. Now, having said that, like a lot of rifles, the Silver Fox does have a safety mechanism in it. Now, you've cocked the rifle now, and you did put the safety catch on, which means that even if you pull the trigger, the rifle is not going to go off. But even if you put the safety catch off and you pull the trigger, that anti-bear mechanism, as it's called, will prevent the rifle flying up. But once you've done that, put your pellet in the breech, close the breech, and you're ready to go. All you've got to do is knock the safety catch off. Now, the only drawback with the rifle having this anti-bear trap mechanism is that you can't decock the rifle. So if you've got a pellet in the spout and it's cocked, the only way that you can make this rifle safe again and unloaded is to fire that pellet off into some soft ground nearby. So that's a quick rundown on the Crosman Silver Fox. Let's go down the range now, put some pellets in it, see how it shoots, and see what the power output is. So I'll come down to the beautiful surroundings of Reading Air Target Shooting Club to give the Crosman Silver Fox a shoot. I'm dodging the showers a little bit, but it's lovely and sunny just now. Now, I've put a target out to 20 meters, which is my kind of preferred testing distance for budget level springers, or budget level break barrels. And I'm using Air Arms diable air fill pellets in 2.2 caliber. I don't think I said before, but this rifle is only available in 2.2 caliber. So I'm going to give it 10 shots at 20 meters, see how we get on. I think the first couple of things that I notice is that the breech for the pellet is actually quite tight. Not that that's necessarily a bad thing. And the trigger is more like one stage, and it's quite a long travel on it as well. I've not adjusted it, but there is some adjustment on it. But yeah, it breaks nice and cleanly, but it's a long travel and it's more of a single stage. It was like that trigger was never going to let go. Last one. Right, well that's 10 shots. Not the best group in the world, but remember this is a budget rifle. But let's go and have a look. Well, let's have a look then at that. You know what? That's better than I thought actually. Ignore these 2 or 3 pellets at the bottom. Let me see if I can zero this thing up properly. Hang on. Ignore these ones at the bottom there from an old target when I was zeroing, but couple high here, couple low there, one maybe there, but I'd imagine there's probably, I don't know, 5, 6 pellets through a one hole group there. So yeah, that's not too bad. 20 meters with air arms Dablo filled pellets, and I'm sure with a bit of bedding in and a bit of leading in of the barrel in particular, that would tighten up. But yeah, that's not a bad group for a budget rifle. Well, there you go. That is the Crosman Silver Fox. Now, some of you will have noticed that I did swap out the scope from the one that came with the rifle, and I put this MTC Mamba light on top, and I think that definitely helped when it came to shooting on the range. I also put this on the chronograph. It was pumping out a very healthy 11.7 foot-pounds, and that definitely puts it in the pest control category. Having said that, I think the aesthetic with this silver action means that it's probably going to appeal more to people who want to shoot in the garden, tin cans, targets, that kind of thing, and also on the range at targets as well. And it's, you know, ideally suited for that. But you know, if you do get a problem rat underneath the shed, it's a rifle that will certainly take care of that as well. Anyway, I hope you found that useful. If you did, please hit the like button, and don't forget to check out our website, alphamilitaria.com. Thanks for watching.